do this. Let us do this. Let us. All right, all right. It's rolling, it's rolling. I'd like to get to the next page. I'd like to write the next page after that. And then part of the next page after that, which would finish the chapter. I'd like to write more than a chapter a day. That is the goal. There's Tom Duffy. I'm in a good mood today, Tom. I'm in a good mood. I finished our chapter this morning. I got down to like 15 emails, which is nice. Not 4,000. There's Mr. Frank. My wife came home last night officially. We gave out about 70, maybe 70 bags of candy. That was it. It was very, very light. A true positive Friday because I'm truly positive. Yeah, exactly. So, we gave out a lot of comic books and a lot of Halloween books. And I got some older Halloween books this year as well. So a lot of the older, it was mostly older kids. We gave out all the little elementary school kid books. And then some dude who was probably like 15 or 16 came up and he's like looking through the books, him and his girl. And he was like, Pete the Cat! Man, I love this when I was a kid. Can I have this? And I'm like, yeah, if you want it. And, he took it, and the girl was like, oh, I'll take the other one. We could read them together. I'm thinking at 15 or 16 years old, you two better be wanting to have sex, not reading a 5-year-old book, but whatever. Man, you were in high spirits today just listening. I am. It's like a new day. It's like a new month or something. Yeah. My mother-in-law was here. She kind of helped hand out candy. She looked at a lot of babies. She's a grandma, so kind of thing. Look at babies. Although I guess technically she's not a grandmother, but she's that age. And yeah, and then my wife brought her home, picked up her sister from the airport, yelled at her sister the whole ride to get her shit together. And then because Jess and Tom are coming in January, February, you better get your shit together and get the hell out of there, kind of thing, which is great. Then my wife came home, and then she immediately had to take a very, very long shower, and then she had to wash the dog, and then we sat on the couch for a little while, hung out, and then boom, 11:45, I got up here on Twitch live. Tom Duffy jumped in for a little while, half an hour or so, which was nice, and riled me up, egged me on. I wrote 1,100 words last night in about 45 minutes. Positive is right, Chad Ho. We haven't seen you in a while. Hope you and the goats are doing fine. And so I got the first chapter done, and now I'm writing on the second chapter on this. I also wrote the next chapter for me and Tom this morning. And I finished that short story yesterday, polished it up nice and pretty, and sent it off to the publisher. So I got stuff I'm getting done. I'm excited. Do Chad's goats faint? That is an excellent, excellent question. Hopefully Chad Hoey will jump in and answer that one, because everybody wants to know that one. Do they wear pajamas? That's my follow-up question. So my wife actually went to work today. She's been working from her mom's because she can't really leave her. So my wife went to the office today with the dog, which is nice. And then who knows when she's coming home. So I'm basically writing and working until then. Then at 11 a.m. tomorrow, we will be heading to Lakeland, Florida, which is about 2.5 hours away. Almost 3 hours, I guess, past Orlando. For her friends that she went to college with, their moms, they have a surprise birthday party for the woman. And that family is from New Jersey, very New Jersey. First time I ever said gabagool in front of my wife, she laughed. She's like, "Oh my God, that's what Judy always called it." And I'm like, "It's capicola." I'm like, "It's not." No, they always say weird things like you do, like monogot. I'm like, because that's how you say it. Jersey Italian. It's the right way to say it. Fainting goats are one of the funniest things ever. No, they don't faint. Chet has his goats trained. Listen, you little bitch, you do not faint in my farmhouse area here, wherever I live. They do sing a lot of Barry Manilow a cappella, though, but no fainting. So yeah, I'm in a good mood today. I actually slept. My wife was with the stupid dog was in the same bed with me for the first time in like 10 days. Which was good. I slept in this morning. Got up, made some coffee, made another cup of coffee, a couple of tuna sandwiches for lunch. It's all good. Chaz goes are squares just waiting to become meat. Wow. Wow, meat squares. Nope, don't spell his name wrong. I like when they give you corrections and they're wrong. I said Kornberg side. Kornberg's is not right. Kornberg is the last name, and instead of side, it's SIGT. Fuck is that? Goat bar at next MondoCon. If I had goats, I would constantly be killing them and eating them. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of goat. I'm also not a big fan of lamb. It's too woolly. I'm also not a fan of deer. I'm also not a fan of venison. Either deer or venison, either way. I do not like jerky. Jerky is not good to me. Lots of things are not, and yet I'm so fat. Because the things I do like, I gouge myself. No mutton. Not even roast mutton. Not even a giant turkey leg. I'm not even really big on the giant turkey legs you get at the fair. We go to the fair and I'm like, you know what? I want some deep fried Oreos. But I do not want a giant turkey leg. I do not want lamb chops. Now, pork chops. Those are delicious. Sweetbreads. You know, some sweetbreads and mutton, you would think I would wash them down with some mead, but no. I'm not even into Turkish delight. I'm hoping my wife gets out of work at a normal time so we can actually have normal dinner tonight. I'm in the mood to take out some meat and make some dirty rice tonight. That would be delicious. But I know what's going to happen. She's going to work till 7 or 8 o'clock and she'll be like, all right, I'm going to pick up Taco Bell. All right. Poo-poo platter. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I do like a good... The poo-poo platter down here is different from the poo-poo platter up north, though. There are not as many items on it. Unless they've universally changed in the last 20 years. Air-fried dirty rice. That does sound delicious. The problem with that is the directions say put 7 pieces of rice in the air fryer at a time, and then after 6 minutes, turn them all over. To get some meat and make dirty rice is the most suggestive thing you've ever said in this stream. Could be. Poo-poo platter up here has shrimp toast. I know. Sons of bitches. Listen, Tom. You got 3 months to eat as much shrimp toast as you can, because they don't have it down here. They don't have it in Georgia. They don't have it anywhere in the South. That's not even a thing in the South. Not even a thing. Which really sucks. And I don't think you can even buy shrimp toast. Like, to make it at home. I mean, there's like a recipe, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not wetting bread and I'm not doing all that. Is shrimp toast as hipster as avocado toast? No, shrimp toast is delicious. Shrimp toast I grew up on. Shrimp toast, there used to be in Middletown, New Jersey, there used to be a Chinese buffet. It was like the first in the area. And me and Russ Meyer and Dan DePippa and George Martin, all of them, we would always go to it. And they had shrimp toast on the buffet. And man, I would just fill a plate with fucking shrimp toast. So no, it is not. Faster Pussycat. Yeah, that Russ Meyer. You know it. Same Russ Meyer. I knew as soon as I said it, you would be commenting. So I have a lot of candy. I have a lot of, like, 20-something bags of candy left over, which is nice. Each bag has 3 to 4 pieces of chocolate in it. And maybe a spider ring. Who knows? I'm going to try to be good. November 1st, I'm going to try to be good. We got to go to this surprise party tomorrow, and I haven't seen these people since our wedding. Frank, you actually met them, I guess, technically at my wedding. They were the 2 twins in their 40s, and then their mom. And the guy who wrote Game of Thrones. Yeah, I mean, I know people. Listen, I know people. So we're going there. I'm sure there'll be a lot of alcohol. Just found some place down there that has 60-cent raw oyster specials, so she'll be living there. Interesting. Let me know what place she found. I'll tell you if it's on a good side of town or not. Not that it matters. The Moncrief is like the ghetto, and but they have some delicious seafood out there. Who doesn't love two twins? Exactly. Three twins? You're pushing it. Does that make four altogether? Maybe. One time we went to, it was late. We were leaving my parents, and we were hungry, and it was very late. We stopped at Wendy's. It was the only thing open. And my wife, we were just thirsty. And my wife said, I'll have a sweet tea. And I said, make it two. And then they gave us 3 sweet teas, which my wife paid for. And I said, no, what are we doing? And you said you wanted 2. And I said, no, make that 2, as in double your 1 to 2. And she's like, well, we bought 3. I mean, I drank 2 of them. And my wife insists that I said I wanted 2 of them. But if I say to you, make that 2, I didn't say, hey, order me 2. I said, make that 2. Right? Doesn't make any sense. Last night I told my wife that you guys had made it, Nick or one of you guys had made a suggestion, or maybe Frank, who knows. Somebody had made a suggestion about one of the MondoCon dinners would be air fryer night. And she laughed. And I said, of course, then, I said, well, if Frank Edler asks for it, then we're going to get it. And she said, oh, yeah. I said, but then my wife will have to buy like 3 more air fryers. She goes, oh, at least 3 more. I said, please don't buy 3 more air fryers. And yet, only 2 breakfast burritos when he asked for 4, right? Isn't that insane? Last night on my way here with her mom, my wife's like, we're stopping at McDonald's. What do you want? I'm like, all right, I'm going to have McDonald's twice today. Okay. I ordered, what did I order? I ordered a Filet-O-Fish, no tartar sauce, but with cheese. Chocolate milk. And a large fry. And 2 apple pies. And then I complained about the apple pies because they're not... In Japan, they still deep fry the apple pies. They got to be delicious. I mean, that was my favorite treat as a kid, going to McDonald's and getting an apple pie. What did it sound like when she poured the sweet teas? I didn't see her pour the sweet teas, and my voice is still a little bad from yesterday. Bring your own air fryer. You know what, Chad? That might be the thing. I'm sure everybody flying in, Nick and Frank will have air fryers on the plane with them. There's Nick Zinn. I have McDonald's right now. Tried the chicken Big Mac. What was wrong with it? What's wrong with the chicken Big Mac? Do you know the difference between a McDouble and a double cheeseburger? Yeah, I only order the McDouble. I don't need any extra anything in it. I always order the McDouble. You know why? Because the McDouble back in the day was like 79 cents when it was first introduced. And I would order like 5 and 6 at a time. And then they slowly crept the price up. And now I think they're like $14 each now. But it's automatically McDoubles. Let's see where Armand is in the story of yesterday and last night. Exactly. Do they offer cheese and bacon? Tom says cheese was already on it. It was fine, just not as good as people make it out to be. Are you a big fan of their chicken sandwiches? I'm not, really. I do like their Filet-O-Fish, and I do like their McDoubles. And you can't beat their fries, let's be honest. And I always order a chocolate shake just to see if the damn thing is working, and it worked. So I probably won't be having McDonald's for a couple of days now, because I had it twice yesterday. It was intriguing, though. Tom got different pizza rolls last night. And I said to my wife, you got to be on the lookout for this, She's like, that doesn't sound good. I'm like, no, not for you, for me. I got an air fryer now. I'm gonna throw some pizza rolls in the air fryer. I gotta get this page done. I got words to write here. I'm at 1,487 words of 2,800. I'm halfway for my goal for the day. It was fine, just not as good as people make it out to be. I'm going to read that again and I'm going to dwell on it. Yeah, my daughter and my mom were very, very excited about it. So I don't know if they've tried it yet. I don't know how good or bad it was. I don't see me getting it. Egg rolls, mott sticks, so many air fryer options. Oh, I know. Not yet, Frank, not yet. Next page, almost, Mr. Frank. Next page, almost. Oh, there's tons of. I got fish sticks were delicious in the air fryer. What was the other thing? Those the stuffed chicken cordon bleu things were delicious in there. I don't know. I got a bunch of stuff. Those little mini pizzas can go in there. Air fried Oreos. I don't know about that. There's Amanda Ward. Lots of words today. So far, yes. So far, 1,487 words. I did 1,100 last night at midnight. So tonight, a few hours ago at midnight. So I've written another 300 something words now. And I also wrote 1,429 words this morning on the next chapter for me and Tom. So I've written like 2,800 words so far today. With many, many more coming. I'm going to write here for a while, obviously, and then I have my therapy at 3 o'clock to talk about all you people ruining my life, and then I will probably jump back in or take a nap this afternoon. I also have other stuff to do, but whoever. Air-fried fainting goat is delish. Tater skins are delicious. Tater tots in there. You throw some French fries in there. Oh, those shrimp, the fried shrimp you can throw in there, coconut shrimp, all the kinds of shrimp. Nice. Amanda, we got to plan our next writing session November. I need it, and also I guess we'll have to figure out. I guess the 14th, week before my birthday, will be our next lunch thing. I'll have to post in on the Twitter group. This morning I changed over my buffer, and I kept my Twitter account. And I didn't delete any of the Twitter accounts, but I got them all off a buffer except for my Armand author main one. So instead of $18, it's $24 a month from $10. But I have Buffer, Blue Sky, my author page on Facebook, and then my main Twitter account. And so I filled those up with, buffered up with some of my stuff already for the next day or two. See what happens. Air fryer is the best way to heat up leftover pizza. Is it really? Interesting. I'll have to think about that. You gotta put like one slice in at a time, and then you just gotta immediately throw the next slice in, throw the next slice in. I always try to eat. If I order pizza, and again for me pizza is Papa John's or Pizza Hut or Domino's or something. Usually Papa John's. I'll order a large stuffed crust, everything, whatever they're gonna Supreme, Super Supreme, whatever they call it. Jalapeno poppers if they have them, and breadsticks. And then I eat all the breadsticks and all the jalapeno poppers and only half the pizza. Then the next day for lunch, I eat the other 4 slices of pizza. So maybe air fryer is the way to go on that, Chad. I'll let you know next time I order a pizza. You probably have the only therapist who can guide someone through the accused episode. He still, every time I mention Chad Lutzke's name, the therapist just groans and he just covers his ears. And I'm like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, let's just move on." I keep telling him, I just keep saying, "Well, let's enjoy this. You listening to me whine and bitch, because hopefully come January or latest February, Tom and Jess are here, and my My arch nemesis sister-in-law is gone. And then I won't have anything else to complain about. My life will be perfect. I always roll up leftover pizza in a wet paper towel and nuke it for 17 minutes on high. No, you can't nuke pizza. That's disgusting. I took the air fryer and my divorce and left everything else. It was probably the best thing you did. That your ex right now is probably crying because right now she's making something and the oven has to preheat for like 10 minutes. And she's like, "Damn you, Chad Hoey, and your future goats." That's probably what she said at the divorce proceedings. If she had a better lawyer, you would have gotten the air fryer, but she would have gotten all the things that you put in the air fryer to cook on. That would have screwed you up. Then you would have had to clean the air fryer by hand after every time you made a piece of pizza. If my wife doesn't, if my wife works super late, maybe I'll throw a couple of burritos in. I think you put 2 burritos in it. Air fried pot pies. I wonder if it takes less than the 8 hours they take in an oven. I had a turkey and a chicken pot pie. What day was that? I write these things down on Tuesday for dinner. And yeah, it was. Those were like 55 minutes. Like it's a tiny little pot pie. 55 minutes on like 4,000 degrees. Like, what is in this damn thing? I gotta look at the box. Maybe if they do have them air fryer, it's gotta be way less than 55 minutes. Even if it's like 20, 25 minutes, I'm like, I can make both of these at the same time. And they'd be just as good. I gotta think they'd be just as good. I'm a fan of Popeyes. There's those big ones, the Marie Callender ones. Like, I get like the little, whatever they are. They're like this big, you know, like the little ones in the little tinfoil tray. Those are delicious. They're like 12 cents each. The Mary Callender ones, though, are like this big. I can still eat 2 of them, but they're good. Do you want a pot pie? No, but I'll want one in an hour. So yes, exactly. That's what I did on Tuesday. Me and Amanda went to B-Max Buffet. So I was filled up. And then it was like, say, 6 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm not hungry, but I know in 55 minutes I might be. So I put the damn thing on. Plus, our stove, it takes like 8 to 10 minutes to preheat. And I'm like, this is just wait. This is well over an hour to make a couple of pot pies. You know what I'm saying? I can make lasagna in this amount of time, prepping it and everything. I'm not gonna prep or make lasagna. You know what I'm saying. But yet, I still love pot pies. They're still delicious. I always roll up my frozen pot pies in a wet paper towel and nuke it for 17 minutes. That sounds disgusting. Because now you just got wet, soggy crust. None of it is crisp or cooked. And then there's always going to be those 3 or 4 peas in the middle that are still frozen. Even after 17 minutes. How many kids did you get last night? Hey, you calm that shit down, all right? You can't prove anything. They clean you out. Did you give them leftover M&Ms that Frank didn't take? No, I ate all those M&Ms finally. We had about 70 kids. We normally have over 100. The first year we had like 200. I made 100 bags and hurt my wrist and my hand. And I still got like almost 30 bags left. We did give away a lot of comic books and a lot of books, though. So a lot of kids were like, "Oh, I can have a comic book," and I'm like, "Take two." Some kids like, "Oh my God, this! Oh, Dad, Birds of Prey," and he's like, then Dad's like, "Get as many as you got. Get as many as he's got." I'm like, calm down. They're comic books that are. They might be from the '80s, but most of them have been well read and worn and not worth anything. Some kid was over there going, "Oh, these Captain Americas. This is from 1983. This is worth a lot of money." And I said, "No, it's not. It's really not. It's not a first appearance of it. It's not. It's nothing. Anything that was worth anything, I've pulled out years ago. There's nothing in there. And these are comic books that were given to me when Shelley's friend Brandon passed away. He had about 5,000 comic books that he basically just had thrown all over his house. The dogs had stepped on. I'm sure they pissed on him at some point. None of them were, in bags, backing boards, nothing. He just collected comics because he liked reading comic books. And so I just basically threw them in a box, and every Halloween I dump a bunch of them on the table. Tom says that's the worst when you bite into a piece that still has ice chips in it. I just throw it all out of the... Yeah, I'm just so disgusted if I eat anything that I've microwaved and there's and it's still like cold inside. Like pizza, you got to be careful. Pizza, if you microwave pizza, for me, there is, say you put it in for 45 seconds. If you put it in for 45 seconds, some of it's going to be cold. It's usually the part right near the crust. Like the first couple bites as you're moving up the pizza, hot, delicious. Then you get that cold bite. If you put it in for 46 seconds, you cannot eat that piece of pizza for like 4 hours. It is so fucking hot. It will burn the roof of your mouth. But Birds of Prey. Here, kid, a Pissing Detective Cosmos. Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. It's mostly. I always throw all the DC ones. People are like, "Oh my God, you're giving away Batman comic books?" Yeah, they're from like the late '80s when, I don't know, they made 400 million of each. Who cares? Happy Halloween. Don't listen to the accused. I would imagine that the accused went to Chad Lutzke's house and they played a free concert in his driveway for Chad and his kids, and nobody else showed up. Did you guys get any kids? Any of you guys get any trick-or-treaters? Or did you just eat the candy? Right, I'm on the next page. They were all dressed up as Chad. That makes a lot of sense. Next page, Nixon! Next page! We're around 50 on Saturday, so it was governed to hand out kids. That is bullshit. I get very aggravated that. That was not fucking Halloween. That was a fucking Saturday. You people suck. They hand out candied cheese cubes there. I'd take a couple. You have Halloween on fucking Halloween, or don't have it. Just go, you know what, we're not going to do this because it's not on a date that we think it should be on. I didn't see anyone botching or bitching that Halloween should only be celebrated on Saturdays this year. I did. No, it should not be on Saturday. It should be. Guess there's got too much. Yeah, I mean, we got an election coming up in a few days. I voted this year. This is the first time I voted in several years. I was like, you know what? I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote because it's going to cancel out one of my wife's family members. And that's all I really care about. My family voted against her family. It's pretty much what it came down to. A bag of cheese curds to every kid. Wow. Those are probably the cheese curds you were holding out. You bought for Tom for next year. Anyone dressed as a character from Socks gets 2 bags. I gave out a lot of 2-baggers. Amanda says, the school sent multiple emails about not sending kids to school today, wound up on sugar, so I made sure my daughter ate lots of candy this morning. Yeah, fuck you, school. That's your job. Your job is to have these little brats. You give them every freaking once a week, you give them a day off or something. Tell us who you voted for without telling us who you voted for. Yeah, I don't discuss politics, and I'm not reelecting that fucking lunatic. I can't understand how people would vote for this fucking idiot again. But you don't know. You have no idea who I voted for. I might have a third cup of coffee today. I don't know if I should though. Maybe I'll dip into Amanda Ward's decaf. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not drinking that. I'm not drinking that crap. That's like drinking an old Duels. That's like saying, hey, I want alcohol. Give me a White Claw. Coffee noises. All right, my throat's a little messed up. How was your coffee date yesterday, Amanda, or Tuesday, Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? I don't know. Whatever day that was. How was your coffee thing? Would you did like you and that woman sit down and then the lady like, oh, we'll take 2 coffees, and the lady was like, up, up, here's your coffee, ma'am. Up, here's your coffee. I can't do coffee anymore. Ugh, that hurts. Biden wasn't an option. Biden still thinks he's running though. Yeah. Biden set up a poll in his house, in his living room, and his wife voted, and he was mad. He's like, you didn't even vote for me. It went really well. She's nice and is publishing. She has published. Is she like that other one that got pregnant that we hung out with for like 6 months? She finally put her book out, and then if I do see her online, it's never about publishing. Has published, good. But she's not normally available on weekdays, so we can't invite her to the Chinese buffet. I would imagine by the time Tom gets here, it'll be later in January, so he won't get invited to an official Chinese buffet, but we will probably hang out. But then starting in February, and depending on if Wynn moves to West Virginia to be near his ailing mother or not, then we have the third Friday coffee clutch, whatever the hell you call it. Oh, I'll still go to the Chinese buffet. Yeah, when you get here, we will we'll get everybody together for a special extra Chinese buffet in January if you get there, or if not February when you're here, we'll we'll get it in. Does coffee sound different at a clatch? Well, yeah, because there's so many people talking. When you're clatching, it's just people just don't shut the f up. Like there's always that one person who just doesn't shut up. They just keep talking and talking and talking. I find when I'm in a group of people, especially authors, I feel like I talk too much. I feel like I'm spewing, the fuck, spewing my words of wisdom too much. And I feel like it's off-putting for some people. And I'm like, I need to shut up and listen to what other people have to say. Even though nothing they say is relevant or makes any sense or sounds smart. Like there's a lot of those factors. Yeah, you don't ever want to spew too much. Or spew. I'll spew all over you. Hey, calm down. So I'm hoping they have some good food at this party tomorrow. So freaking obnoxious when you go out to socialize and people just talk and talk and talk. It is obnoxious. Like everybody just shut up. Everybody just shut up and stare into your glass of wine and be quiet. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Put some REO Speedwagon on the radio and let's all just quietly hum the words. That's a good party. Not this, oh, what do you do for a living? Who gives a shit? Yeah, shut the fuck up and try to be social. Exactly. I always head to the corner, and I know that's what I'm going to do because I don't know these people. Like I've met them 6 or 7 times over the last 12 years, but you know, and then we got the Jersey connection, so we talk about what we all miss from Jersey, kind of thing. But otherwise, I'm going to go sit in a corner somewhere, nurse a beer, and let Shelly catch up on all the people she went to college with. I think the party's at 5, so we'll get to the hotel about 3, check in. Maybe I'll get to take a nap. And we'll go to the party at 5, probably end about, well, there's going to be a lot of alcohol, probably end about midnight. Knowing these people, the last party, I think the last surprise party we went to was like, it might have been her birthday 10 years ago. I think that's about right. And so, you know, we're doing this again. And so there will be a ton of alcohol, ton of bad music. The two twins, love to dance. And so they'll have the electric slide and all of those awful songs as if we're at a wedding for some reason. And they're like, hey, come on and dance. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, no thanks. I'm a dude. I don't get out there and boogie woogie woogie. And so that'll be. But then we get up in the morning, and instead of just coming home, then they'll be like, "Oh, we're all going to breakfast. We all got to meet at like Denny's or Perkins or somewhere. We're all gonna get breakfast. Then we got to get breakfast with them, which is fine because I like food." I can't hear the coffee being poured. Exactly. That's what it is. Tom says, "Get a bunch of food on the plate and then sit in the corner. Then there's always some douche who makes eye contact and desires to come over and sit next to you." Yeah, and I'm trying to eat. Go away. Socializing is just spending time realizing how much you don't like people. Yeah, I already know I don't like people. So this is going to be fun. Last 10 years ago we went, and there was a couple. There was one of those, like, I now will call them the Jonathan Jans couples. The really sickly pretty man and woman, you know, and they got a cute story of how they met, and they just had come back from Cabo or something, and her mom always went on trips with them. That was like her best friend and stuff. And I'm like, wait. Her mom is her best friend. You're like late 30s, early 40s. And your husband is good with that. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, we're like the three of us. We're like inseparable, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking either this dude is banging his wife's mom, or this dude hates this. And it ended up he hated it because less than a year later they got divorced. He was like, I'm sick of your mother always being at our house. I'm sick of your mother always going on vacation with us. I'm just sick of your mother. I thought, that makes sense. She had dated not one of the two twins, but their other brother, Michael. That girl had dated him years and years ago. And they were on the phone, and they had gone out like 3 or 4 times, and they were getting along. And she was on the phone drinking a bottle of soda, and she burped. And he immediately got so annoyed. He's like, I can't talk to you anymore. And he hung up with her. And that was it. Because she burped. And I'm thinking, you were upset because a girl burped. Look at my perfect teeth and sculpted physique. Go away, loser. That's pretty much what they are. That's pretty much, they're like the big white smile, teeth, and they work out together, with the mom, and just everything. Like, I forget what he did. He did something for a living. She was like a dental hygienist, and then they would spend every weekend they would be together. And like the mom lived like across the street or something, so they would just spend all hours. Like every night they ate dinner together. They went on vacation together, like everything. She was on, when they went on their honeymoon, and it was like 3-4 years before that. When they went on the honeymoon, I'm almost positive she went on the honeymoon with them. That is insane. I saw my mother for 2 hours the other day. I was ready to strangle her. I can't imagine going, hey, let's go on a cruise together. Dental hygienists are always hot. You know what? She was very attractive. She was very pleasing to the naked eye. I wonder if she'll be there tomorrow night, or if he'll be there. I don't remember what the dynamic was. If she was the friend or if he was the friend first, that kind of thing. She's either still super hot or she's like really ugly and dumpy and like her teeth have fallen out. Being her mother on the honeymoon, that's very weird. Yeah. That should be one of those things where you don't, like if Jess is ever like, hey, we should get married, and you don't want to get married, you'd be like, okay, we're bringing my mother on the honeymoon, though. And then that hopefully will squash all of that. Very naked to the pleasing eye as well, yes. Yes, that's the other option there. Shelley did go out. She did go to college down in Lakewood with either, there was like 30 people there that were all like high school and then college friends, that kind of thing. Not her high school friend, but like college people that she knew. And there was like, say 10 girls. 5 of them super hot. The other 5 super ugly. I'm like, wow, there's no in between. They go to this, like this college is either you got to be a 10 or a 0. Oh, you're a 5, you're not invited to this school. Yeah, we don't want your kind here. Oh, average looking girl, get out. One of the girls that she worked with at Publix, they all worked at Publix together down there as well. So she will probably be there. Her husband is the head groundskeeper for the Lakeland Tigers, the AA, I believe it's AA for the Detroit Tigers. And he's always saying to her, hey, come down and hang out. Come to a game. We've never gone down. I've gone there before. I went there with my dad years ago. Maybe this year we'll go. I definitely want to go to some baseball games next year, especially since the way the Yankees lost. It makes me even more excited. I'm actually more excited now. I'm like, oh, good. World Series is over. Now we can start the off season. This is like my favorite time of year. Trades and rumors and trade rumors. It's great. I gotta get this chapter done. Of course, on this thing, so I use Pacemaker something or other to keep track of. So I wrote 1,100 and something, where 1,116 words or something at midnight last night. And then I went on the site and I'm like, oh, let me just punch this in. And I did, and some woman had like, I mean, it was like 12:30, and she had like 5,500 words in already. I'm like, you can't write that fast. That you're cheating. I hear the Yankees are moving to England in shame. Let's hope so. It's hockey season. Yeah, it's hockey season. Definitely not football season. I don't even know when basketball season starts or ends. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, no one says they're good words. Like, what are you like? That to me is like, okay, she's just like using a dictating. She's using Dragon software and she's just talking. And half of it is, yeah, you are interrupting me. No, yeah, I'll have another cup of coffee. You know, I mean, it's midnight. I mean, if you want to go to bed now, you can go to bed. I'll be in there in a little bit. Like that's like probably half of the words. Has Alex from Iowa started his words? He is. Let me give you a little story. I don't think I told everybody from St. Louis when we met him and his lovely wife in St. Louis. He was working construction or something, and then his family sold a bunch of land, and he got a lot of money, like a lot of money. So he invested. Actually, his wife invested a huge chunk of it, but it was still enough money. He basically said, "Hey, what are going to be our bills, rent and utilities and car payment and car insurance, whatever, for the next 6 months?" And she figured it out, and he gave her he says, "Here, take that money, pay all that off now, and then in 6 months, come along. Thank you for paying for this, Frank." And basically then I'll give you more money. We can pay for the next. So basically all of the money she's making, and I forget what she does for a living, all the money she's making, they're going to use that for food and for things, and and save some of it, put some of it in savings. And so I said, so what are you doing then? He says, oh, I'm going to be a full-time writer. I said, you mean like you were all through COVID and you wrote nothing? And then me and Shelly basically yelled at him all during dinner at the taco place that this is, if I had something like this when I was in my late 20s, that I had all this time on my hands and I could be a writer and I could do this for a living, I would have done that. And you have all this time and you have money and you have blah, blah, blah. But he finished his third book, his third zombie book, and he was working on the next one. I'm sure he hasn't written anything, though. I'm like, so you're basically laying around watching Netflix and taking naps during the day. And his wife's like, yep. And I said, well, I don't know how you stand for that if you get up every morning and you go to work and he's just lying around. And he's like, well, I gave to the family. I said, you can give more to the family. Wouldn't it be nice to just write books for the next 2 or 3 years and start actually earning $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month, whatever, to add to the family instead of you just spending money? Because at St. Louis, one of the nights, I think Friday night, Brian Keane was like, anybody plays Magic the Gathering, if you have your deck, we're going to play about 10 o'clock. We're going to play out in the lobby. And Alex was like, oh, I don't have my deck. And Brian's like, there's like 2 different comic book stores close by. So when we went to lunch to the barbecue place, which was good, because Shelly is really nice, and of course she drove. He was like, do you mind if we stop? And she's like, sure, no problem. So we went, and he's just wandering around. I'm like, dude, I want to go back. Like, I don't want to hang out in the comic book store for an hour. There's the Magic. There's your starter set. Buy the damn cards. It's like $30. But no, he was like, oh, do you have this comic book? He started buying comic books now. So he's asking the guy about all different comic books and stuff. So we were there for like an hour. He's buying he spent like $300 and something. He could have bought like a 30 deck of Magic cards. But he had to buy booster pack, all this other crap. He just spent a shitload of money. So he could play for, an hour with Brian Keane and Wiley Young. Alex from Narnia. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. So that was, I don't know how long ago it was, but St. Louis was like 3 weeks ago, whatever. I'm sure he hasn't written a fucking word. This is fascinating. The other best on Detective Comic number 7. I'll see what you did there, Tom. See what you did. So he started collecting comic books after he started listening to Defenders Dialogue. Then he started collecting Defenders comic books. He's like, they're really not expensive. I'm like, no, there's like 6 issues that are expensive because they're like first appearances of certain characters. The rest of them you can literally buy for like 50 cents each. You can buy the entire run of Detective Comic Books for probably like $100. So that's yeah. And I said, well, you have you only have 13 more years of your MondoCon ban, so maybe by then you'll get your shit together, but probably not. It's a 125 issue run of Defenders, and few care. Exactly. Nobody cares. There are certain issues in the run that people are excited about, but not many. Well, which issue was the first appearance of Horace Pinker? Ah, Horace Pinker. Is this the first issue that BK read? Because it's worth a lot more now. So yeah. So I don't think right now I'm going to actually, since I just started this page, I don't think I'm going to get to this next page. But I will get another 1,000 or so words in today. Mark my words. Tom, hopefully you get another chapter in today or tomorrow. I will be back Sunday afternoon, and hopefully you will have a chapter done in the next 24 hours or 36 hours or whatever the hours are. I still remember when you almost had him convinced Richard Lehman was signing at a bookstore in Jacksonville. I think I do. I have him convinced that Chuck Tingle is Nick Mamatas. He believes that Nick Mamatas is Chuck Tingle. Maybe Alex needs to team up with someone to co-write something. Knock yourself out, Nick, if you never want anything to do. Him and JC could write something together. It would be nothing. Joe Hill is Henry Hill's son. God, that would be better. What are you doing, man? Put some fucking clothes on. Some dude's walking around. He's got shorts on, that's it, and they're hanging down past his butt. I don't think he's even wearing underwear. And he's walking barefoot with his dog. Shirtless. The fuck are you doing? Yeah, I did look out right out the window. Sons of bitches. A girl came up yesterday, and she was like, "Oh, here's a bag of candy, and we have comic books and we have books." And she's like, "Oh my god, we love your little free library. We're in the house around the corner. My mom just put up a little free library." I said, "Oh, okay." And I wanted to say, "Oh, you're the fucking idiot that went on Facebook when it first went up a couple months ago and said, 'Oh, the first little free library in the Ocean Way area of Jacksonville.'" And my daughter jumped in and said, looked it up and said, "Actually, my parents have one that's like about a half a mile right around the corner from yours, and they've had it there for at least 6 years." So I wanted to say that to her. She looked like she was like 12. I want to say, "Look, you fucking bitch. You tell your mother she's a fucking asshole." But I didn't. I said, "Oh, okay. That's gonna be the new show, LFL Wars." Yeah. Plus, there's about 7 of them in the neighborhood here. It's called Ocean Way, in this part of town from here to the airport. So you're not the first one. And she's not even registered. It's not even on the map. She didn't even buy the stupid $25 plate, which puts you on the website and everything. I'm like, you're an idiot. Plant that little free library flag hand hard on them. Exactly. I'm going to burn that fucker to the ground. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go buy a beaver. I'm going to put the beaver there so the beaver eats it. How about that? I watched... I was waiting for my wife to come home, and I'm like, just flipping around. I'm like, oh, on History Channel, one of those, is the show Mountain Men, which I've never seen. But it was a repeat. It was the first episode of the first season. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna watch. And I watched. I watched like 3 episodes of Mountain Men. And I'm like, you know what? I could watch 200 episodes of this. Dudes doing things that I would never in a million years do. You know? Oh, you're gonna go and chase bobcats off the mountain? No thanks. Oh, you're gonna go and trap beavers, and then you're gonna, I don't know, weasels or something. Pauly Shore, I don't know. This dude's got weasel traps. Then there's fucking I walk outside. There's 3 wolves standing in front of my house. No thanks. I was here 6 years before you, way before COVID or that guy from Accused doing that thing. Yeah, exactly. LFL erotica. Nick Zinn is Chuck Tingle. You know what? It might be. Mountain Man is Chuck Buddha on there. I am nowhere talented enough to be Chuck Tingle. I really do think, and I was just one of those, I think it was after Scares That Care, I told them that. Because everybody was talking about Chuck Tingle, and I had just hung out for a few minutes with Nick Mamatas. And he kept going, are you, like, I don't know if you're lying or not. And of course, Show's like, he's always lying. I'm like, no, I'm not lying about this. Then I'm winking at her. In fact, I think at Nikon, I think Chuck Tingle and Nick Mamatas were both there, and I believe they're in the same picture. So it's probably not Nick Mamatas. Unless he photoshopped it, which would make a lot of sense. If you were that guy, you would photoshop it. What I really need to do is like do the dishes, throw some laundry, and I need to get the house a little more presentable so there's not as much work for my wife to do. Everyone knows it's Grady Hendrix. Grady is too small for that role, stature-wise. Does Alex read a lot of Chuck Tingle? Doesn't seem like his genre. No, I don't believe so, although he collects pretty much everything. Oh my God, what's his name? Paul from Thunderstorm Books was there in St. Louis, and he has like $150, $200 books. And Alex conservatively spent $2,000 walking around buying books from everybody. And he went up to that table, and I think he bought like 4 books or something that he actually didn't have. Some of the older stock stuff. At one point, we're sitting at the table, and Paul walks up, and he says, "Oh, God, authors love the Alex money, yeah." And he looks at me. I already said hi to him earlier in the day. He looks at me, and then he looks at Shelley, and he says to her, "Are you John Wayne's Shelley?" And she started laughing, and I said, "Well, she's married to me. John Wayne thinks she's married to him." And she's like, "Yes, why?" It's like, "Oh, he wanted me to give you this. This is his latest book." You know. And then he gave her a copy. And I think he's given her, I think Shelley has like the last 5 or 6 books that John Wayne has done through Thunderstorm that Paul will just mail her. Which is pretty cool. They have a bond. And I'm also warning you ahead of time, Tom, in case I haven't. John Wayne and Shelley both told Jake that at AuthorCon in Virginia, our tables need to be next to one another. I said to Shelley, why did you do that? Why can't you just walk across the room like you're doing now so I don't have to listen to him? I like the guy, but it just wipes you out. That's a classic throw people off your trail move. Hire someone to play Chuck Tingle, like Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton. Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. All right, I'm out of coffee. I think I'm going to go take a nap or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to write. I'm going to work today. I'm going to work my ass off. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. Obviously, I will not see you Saturday and Sunday, but I will be here on Monday. and we will hang out. We will do this again. Have a great, great weekend.